coordinator at Clemson. And now we welcome in a man who has 2 national championships. That is head lacrosse coach, Lars Tiffany. Playing to the crowd. Unfortunately, our radio audience can't see you right now, but the Facebook Live audience can. And Lars Tiffany, the head coach of the Virginia lacrosse team. Tough one on Saturday, but obviously a very successful season that you guys are having. How you doing, by the way? It's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah, it's great to be back, and it's great to see Merle and Megan here and everyone else. This is awesome. And winning 2 national championships, like Tony's done it at Clemson, we've done here at lacrosse, that seems like a lot, but there's Todd DeSorbo.
That's
Women's
correct.
swimming and diving just won their 3rd in a row.
Back to back.
I know. How amazing is
32 team national championships now for Virginia. And as all these Virginia fans like to remind people, the people in Blacksburg have 0. But you didn't bring that up.
Stop. I didn't bring that up.
Right,
I don't know how we're going to catch Todd. I mean, we got to win every year because he's going to win every year. What he's got rolling here, it's amazing.
It sure is. And what you had on Saturday was 5,700 fans at a lacrosse game. That's awesome. It's been a while since we've had it like that. What was that experience like for you and your players, seeing all those fans out there?
It was amazing. And we didn't have our best first quarter, so maybe it unnerved ourselves, even though we were home in front of the friendly confines and our great fans. But that's something we've been striving for. And our biggest attendance in terms of when I say we, Sean, Kerwin, Kip Turner, myself, we arrived here 7 years ago, we got to 4,500 once. Now, back in the day, before the television coverage was great, like it is now, Dom Stars, they had a couple 7,000, fan games. And so I was like, I wonder if we could ever get there. Maybe not. But boy, Saturday, you felt it. And it was amazing. I had to tell my daughter, Charlotte, 8 years old, afterwards. And she was upbeat. She's like, "Oh, you beat him next time, Dad." And but it was like, it was an amazing day. It was like an amazing movie where unfortunately there was a sad ending. Now, most of Charlotte's movies are good endings because we watch a lot of Disney films. But just like, we did watch a film where the dog dies in the end and it was tears. And I was like, that was kind of like that movie where, everything was great. It was a great movie. It was a great day. It was all fun. And then, the dog died. What just happened? How'd we lose in overtime? But it was a great team in Maryland and our guys getting challenged like that. And, we're going to grow from it.
And just maybe this movie could have a sequel if you beat them in the postseason.
Exactly.
Yeah, we sure like that to happen.
Exactly.
You guys have a crazy schedule. So one, my question is this Maryland thing going to become like an annual thing? Because they're no longer in our conference, but you got them to come to your place. Mm-hmm. So yes, no.
Oh yeah. We're going back up to College Park next year.
Okay.
And, it's too good of a game. We've had they've been incredible battles historically. The two programs, it's lately, we've each knocked each other out of the NCAA tournament. And it seems inevitable that we'll probably see each other again in 2023 this spring in the NCAA tournament. So we're going to keep playing that game. But I thought where you were going with that question is you were going to ask me who does your scheduling?
Yes,
that guy.
That's a good question.
That's me.
Is it you?
Yeah, because we are going here with Maryland, who's I think number 2 in the country right now, and then Notre Dame's number 1 this weekend, and then there's Duke after that, who's I think number 4 right now.
And you play them multiple times. So I was talking to Jeff White today. He said you play the 3 other teams in the top 4, so you're a top 4 team right now. The other 3 in the top 4, Duke, Notre Dame, and Maryland. You're going to play them 5 times this season between those 3. Is this the craziest schedule you've ever had, and is this the way you like it?
Absolutely the craziest schedule we've ever had, no question about it. And some of our non-conference games, some of the games we picked up early in the season, we had 3 new opponents. We played Michigan and Ohio State and Harvard. And that was a bump up from some of the other teams that we played non-conference. So we saw the team we have, led here by a local Connor Schellenberger, and we love Connor, and Jeff Connor, Grayson Soliday, and Kate Saustad, and Grayson, just these incredible players. And I was like, this is the team that can go through that type of gauntlet, and certainly we're in the thick of it right now, aren't we?
Yeah, we sure are. All right, we got a bunch of questions from the audience. They've come in. This is from Kathy, who wants to know Coach Bennett, who was sitting in this seat last week. He has the pillars, so the 5 pillars of his program. She wants to know, do you have anything similar for your players that
sure
is the model for the program?
Oh, I love it. This is a little bit more within the team, and so we talk about one when we talk to our men. We could say the word pillars. Yeah, I've stolen that from Tony. The relentless pursuit of the ground ball. It's all about the ball. We half jokingly, half seriously say ground balls save lives. 2, the ride. When we lose the ball, just a passionate pursuit of getting the ball back, the ride. We love the 10-man ride. I'm sure a lot of fans of the game notice that our goalie's not often in the goal when the other team is clearing the ball, trying to get the ball to their offensive end. We take those chances, we take those risks. And so the relentless pursuit of the ground ball, the passionate with our ride, and 3, being a great teammate. Simple. Be a great teammate. Take care of your teammates.
Those are your 3 pillars.
That's it for our team, within our team.
Now, you guys score a lot of goals. You're averaging 20 goals a game this season. Have you ever coached a team that's this high scoring? Is that, I know you've had some high scoring teams, but is this one probably the best offensive team that you've ever been in charge of?
Statistically, yes. Our last 2 seasons in Providence, Rhode Island, Sean Kerwin joined us, and he instantly transformed the way we pursued the goal, the way we attacked the goal, the way we took chances and didn't worry about turnovers. And so those last 2 teams we had in Providence in 2015 and 2016 at Brown University, we were scoring at a rate that was prolific, that was different for Brown, that was different for the country. And it made a lot of the rest of the nation go, whoa, what's going on here? And so I give Sean Kerwin credit to really helping transform the game back to the way it used to be played, fast-paced, without managing, without massaging the clock and controlling. Just let them go. But in terms of statistics, this is the number 1. Yeah, to be around that 20-goal margin per game at halfway through the season. That's it's a bit astonishing, and it's a lot of fun, that's for sure.
It's fun to watch, as noted by the 5,700 fans that showed up.
And I'll tell you what, Logan Greco and I focus on the defense, and yes, we are lucky. We can give up 15 goals some games and still win, so we're enjoying that as well.
All right, so John Cathcart wants to know. He's asking this question because Tony Elliott was in the house, obviously the football coach for Virginia. You have a very special player, Ricky Miezon, who's still eligible to play football.
That's true.
He came in. Okay, so let's tell our audience about him. He came in from Stanford. He was a 4-year starter at inside linebacker for Stanford. He was an excellent lacrosse player in high school. You guys have him playing lacrosse now. And John Cathcart wants to know, is Tony Elliott going to steal him maybe when fall rolls around, if he can borrow him? Because he does have another year of eligibility left.
He does, and we'd be happy for him to play football. It's really up to Ricky. When his Stanford career ended in December, and he had his undergraduate degree, he looked at his parents and said, I really want to play lacrosse. I miss lacrosse. And as many of you know, he had committed to play college lacrosse in 9th or 10th grade, back when that was allowed. And so he's having so much fun. If he comes in my office and says, I'd like to do both, go for it. That would be fantastic.
How did he end up here? Did he call you? Did you call him?
He pretty much called us. Yeah, he made a decision. Now, he's a smart man, too. He arrives here in January, 2 months ago. He wants to be at the in-state school. He wants to be at the place that's had success. But he also knows that he can just kind of roll in with the admissions, that the price tag is going to be pretty good, because we don't have any scholarship money this just sitting around for the spring. We're going to take care of him next year, But so it was a really, really smart decision. He knew what he wanted, and he actually put a do not contact on his transfer portal file.
So how does that contact work when a huge lacrosse recruit from 4 years ago transfers? Did you get a text hey, it's Ricky? Or you're going to email and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
Pretty much, yeah. It's the lacrosse world, is smaller than the other sports world. So he knew somebody to contact me and get my cell number. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we're sure lucky that he came here.
And that's what I try to tell people. I had a bunch of people pat me on the back. Whoa, you got Ricky Miezon. Wow, Lars, what an incredible recruiter you are. I'm like, look, I coached at the University of Virginia. Sometimes the fish jump in the boat. You don't have to go fishing, all right? People want to be here. It's an amazing place, an amazing school.
Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about. We got another segment with Lars Tiffany, National Championship lacrosse coach for Virginia. I want to tell you, though, you can live the life you love without your feet getting in the way. I'm loving my active and healthy lifestyle with my Good Feet arch supports. Get your free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store. Visit goodfeet.com for the locations nearest you. Back on our Coach's Corner on the Virginia Sports Radio Network.
Yeah, Megan, yeah.
season in those 9 minutes. Restaurants.com. I want to tell you that the UVA Bookstore is the destination for Cavalier fan gear and apparel. Stop by before the game or shop online at uvabookstores.com. I'm John Freeman, joined by head lacrosse coach Lars Tiffany. Coach, we have arrived at the last segment of episode 30 of our coaches show. So you are the man to close it out.
Closing this
Congratulations. So we only have like 9 minutes left, and we got to figure out how to wrap up an entire lacrosse season in those 9 minutes. But we'll start with this. So you guys have that big game against Maryland. That darn goalie makes the most miraculous save, double save I think I've ever seen in overtime. What went through your mind when you guys had the ball on the doorstep?
Yeah. I'm 60 yards away, so I didn't realize how amazing that final save of the 3 he had in those last 10 seconds. The heart, you start to like maybe it's over. Oh, okay, no, go back to coach mode. All right, get the defense set. It was afterwards when somebody grabbed me in the parking lot and showed me their phone. They showed me the highlight. They slow-moed it, they zoomed it in, and when I saw what he did while laying on the ground and sticking his stick up and then sort of kneeing the ball away, I mean, that was miraculous. That was an amazing save if it's in the first quarter. Now it's in sudden victory time. Mm-hmm. So I hope that was on SportsCenter. I hope that was.
So it was a miraculous save. So let's learn about you and your style of coaching here. So take us into a couple minutes after you lose a game like that. You play in front of 5,700 fans. You're inches away from beating, one of the other 2 teams that has a national championship in the last 4 years in Maryland. You almost beat them at home in that miraculous environment, and then you come up short in that manner in overtime. What is your message to your team? What is your demeanor to your team when you're in the locker room addressing them? Yeah,
I appreciate you asking that. It's we have a process that doesn't change whether we win or lose. And the media is not happy with me because I immediately take the team in the locker room for about 6 minutes. And we try to break down, and I put on the board, then the grease board, things we need to improve and our strengths. And so I want their initial reactions without the film review. What didn't go well, we got to get better at, and what did we do well? Win or lose, we do that. And so it helps get us back to neutral in a sense. Fortunately, we've won a lot of games, and so we're on this buzz and the high of the win. But let's get back to neutral. And then from Saturday's devastating loss in overtime, hey, let's get back to neutral. Let's be analytical, and let's see what didn't we do well and what did we do well. So we go through that process. We probably went a little bit longer. I'll admit that we could hear the Maryland locker room celebrating, and I didn't start talking for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes on purpose. And I wanted them to hear that. And so the first words I said is, fellas, it's a big deal to beat UVA Lacrosse. All right? We're going to make sure it's always a big deal to beat UVA Lacrosse, and we're going to learn and grow from this, and let's do that right now. And then we went into our process.
You're like cutting the WWE promo right now. We could put that on any commercial that we would ever make for a lacrosse broadcast, which is on our local station here in Charlottesville on WINA. So going forward, you got a big game against Notre Dame on Saturday. You guys feeling pretty hungry after that game on Saturday against Maryland?
Absolutely. The idea that we're going to come back out the next time and demonstrate a warrior ethos and mindset. Because it's interesting. Sometimes you see a team that's really highly ranked lose a game, and your fan base, the people who know you, they believe, oh, man, wait till they get back on the field the second time. Wait till they get back out there and right the ship. And that's usually what happens. And that's what we're going to do. But you got to be careful. Sometimes you don't see that. It's like, whoa, you lose a game, all of a sudden doubt crept in? You want to change everything? No. Stick with the process, stick with the plan. Now, the challenge is we just lost a game, and now we're playing the new #1 team in the country, 6-0. Kevin Corrigan, local Virginia alum, and he has an incredible team here this year. But, we're excited to get to South Bend, Indiana, and prove ourselves right away.
So you mentioned Coach Corrigan, who's got Virginia ties. You're the head coach at Virginia, and you've incorporated your former or the former coach at Virginia and your former coach at Brown, and Dom Starzia, who was at the game on Saturday. He was the coach when I broadcasted lacrosse back in the day, and I'm so fond of him. So tell our audience how you incorporate him into the program, because he seems to always be around and have an open door, even though he is a high school coach now.
Yeah,
at the Blue Ridge School right up the road here.
Exactly. Dom stayed above the fray. When Dom was let go in 2016 and I stepped in, he did some amazing things. First off, he let me stay in his house. You know, it's like I just took his job, and he put that aside and made it more about the relationships and the connection that we have. And so I stayed in the house for a month before my family came down. And I brought the cat. And I hadn't even told him I was bringing a cat.
No. What's the cat's name?
Grizzle. And Dom wasn't that excited about the cat, but he still put up with Grizzle, all 3 legs that she has. And then the first team barbecue was at his house. It had been at his house for the previous 20 years. But he felt like, even though he was a coach, it should be here again. And so that first team barbecue, say August 30th, when everyone rolls into campus, it was at his house. It was amazing how much he's given. And so we have him come back. He comes back at least annually, speaks to the team at our Cultural Thursdays, and shares wisdom from the past Virginia teams. And that man has so much knowledge, and he's so emotionally intelligent. So I feel very fortunate. And so the game ends against Maryland, and I see him in the parking lot out the tailgates with the Virginia parents. His twins, Maggie and Emma, with their big smiles, Dom's smile. You still feel like you got that punch in the gut, but it warms you up, and it just knows like we're going to move on from here.
Is Grizzle the cat still with us?
Unfortunately, Grizzle, but she made it over 20 years.
20 years?
Over 20 years.
A 20-year-old cat?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. 18 of those with 3 legs.
Wow. All right. So I remember when I would talk with Coach Starzy, one of his favorite phrases to paraphrase was like, you guys can game plan all you want. I'll run you over with my athletes.
Love that.
What is your strategy when you look at kids to recruit? Because your recruiting classes have been top for the last couple years. We love the players that you're bringing in, and obviously they're leading to a lot of success. So what are you looking at when you are evaluating high school players from looking at your roster all around the country, California, Texas, Ohio, Colorado, all on your roster?
Sure. That attitude, I'll always remember that. Dom's been my mentor. He recruited me. I played for him. And then I didn't think the world needed another lacrosse coach. You graduate from college, you're going to go save the world to do something big. But I found myself in mid-20s like, gosh, I really enjoyed coaching. So I jumped back into coaching. And I'm always calling Dom. I'm always leaning on him as a mentor. And I remember talking about some X's and O's one days. And I remember hearing that quote from him. Lars, you can X and O me to death. I'm going to run you over with my athletes. And I was like, ooh. That I now have my new philosophy and mission in recruiting, and when you're the head coach at Stony Brook or Brown, you can get some really good lacrosse players, but it's different here because now you can find those guys. Now Ricky Miazan just shows up sometimes, and you work really hard to get the P.D. LaSalas and Connor Schellenbergers of the world here, and so the way we play, our style is supposed to be 60 minutes of intensity to make the other team uncomfortable for all 60 of those minutes, whether it's defensively, we're going out and pressuring, our 10-man ride, and then the way we attack the goal. So the idea is that is not only the most exciting way to play, it's entertaining for the fans, but certainly the recruits see it. And that's the way they want to play this game. All
right, Coach, we're running out of time here. First, I want to say that we're brought to you by Ace Electric Company, a family-owned electrical contractor specializing in residential and commercial construction since 1966. Visit our website at aceelectricva.com to learn more. I wish we got the full hour with you, but we only got you for 30 minutes, and we're in the last couple minutes here. We do have a shot clock on the show, so when you hear the music, that's the 60-second shot clock, which you're very familiar with. We've got a lot of people listening that maybe haven't been to a lacrosse game. You've got a huge one in 2 weeks. You have the Duke Blue Devils, and I just heard the music, so you give me a 20-second promo of that game to anybody thinking about heading to Klockner Stadium for it.
Yeah, Friday night, 5 p.m. No better way to end the week. At Klockner Stadium. All right, cheering us on. We don't have the best history against those Blue Devils. That's the one we circle every year. It is time to get over that hump, and we need you there. We need you here at Klockner, March 31st, 5 p.m.
Perfectly put. Over, under 40 goals in that game.
Over.
All right, he's picked the over. Thank you so much, Coach Tiffany, for coming by. That's going to wrap it up from BJ's Restaurant and Brew House, home of the world-famous Pizookie, located in the shops at Stonefield off Route 29. You can also visit online at bjsrestaurants.com. Thank you so much for coming all season long to those in attendance and listening on the Virginia Sports Radio Network.